Hello, my friends. For today's reading, I was having a really hard time deciding what kind of reading to do. I was even considering pulling out my Intuit Twin Flames deck, which I may do after all, but I couldn't decide whether or not to do a Twin Flames reading because I'm not a fan of the label, and I'm not a fan of a deck that is so strongly biased in that direction. Not that it doesn't have worthwhile things to say, but it's the things that it has to say are obviously limited to that particular frame of reference. Anyway, I decided I would try a goddess reading as I was looking over my cards, because that's the only deck that seemed to pull to me. The Goddess Wisdom Oracle deck that I have from the 90s. And I pulled it out, and this one was right there on top. As you can see, there are two of them, which I did not realize I had two of them in this deck. Shows you how much I've used it. And it struck me, also the image struck me as very odd. It was like, what is going on in this picture? Does she have wings? Is someone hugging her? What is going on? So, I turned it over. And it is Psyche. The story, well, that's interesting. The story of Psyche tells of a mortal woman taken to a mysterious castle to be married to a fierce dragon. Her husband comes to her in the middle of the night, and she falls in love with him. Told that she must never look upon his face, she disobeys this injunction and finds that her husband is really Eros, the god of love. When he awakes, he flies away, leaving her forever. Psyche roams far and wide trying to find Eros. She goes to his mother, Aphrodite, who gives her 4 tasks to complete, each seemingly impossible. The final task requires her to descend into Hades and retrieve a box of beauty. Through the process of meeting the challenges of her tasks and integrating her experiences, Psyche grows from an innocent young girl into a mature goddess. Psyche is a rich reminder of our imperative to grow. She reminds us that the process of life takes us into dark places as well as light, just as the butterfly emerges from the dark chrysalis into the light. Anyway, this whole thing strikes me as very, very twin flamey. Both the story of Psyche and the fact that here I have 2 of them. I can't believe I have 2 of these cards in this deck. Alright, so I shuffled the Intuit Twin Flame Oracle. You heard me earlier. And what came out was communication. When our conversations are lighthearted and playful, it eases the tension that is sometimes there when we talk. So I guess it is a reminder that you need to have playful time as well as serious time. And maybe the playful time should be a little more important right now. There will be time enough to talk about serious things later on, assuming that you are in contact with this person. Or maybe it's just that when you do get in contact again, you need to make sure that you put some effort into having lighthearted and fun times. It shouldn't all be work. A lot of work is required in this journey, but there should be some joy too. And the joy helps to create bonds. Well, I shouldn't say bonds. It helps to strengthen your connection and your communication. As much as honest, open, intimate communication helps. And of course, the first one to come out is the King of Wands. So, oh yes, the other thing I was thinking with this, with these 2 cards coming out like this, is that it's also a reminder that whether you are male or female, or identify as masculine or feminine, these lessons apply to you. We all need to learn both sides and develop both sides, aspects of our personality. And for today, it seems that although we started with the Goddess Wisdom cards, you are both coming up as kings. A King of Wands and a King of Cups. If you've been here for a while, you know that I always say tarot has no gender. We all need to embody or develop the feminine aspects of our personalities and the masculine aspects of our personalities. And we started off this reading with 2 goddesses. Now we're moving into 2 emperors, or 2, sorry, oh, that's an interesting slip. 2 kings. So it seems you are both working on your goddess and kingly aspects of your personalities. Of course, you need all of the kings to become the emperor, just as you need all of the queens to become the empress. All right, so we haven't had anything terribly spiritual come out so far. So, nothing wrong with that. It's just maybe your focus is more on material things right now. What does the King of Wands need to know? Oh, I suppose I should be talking more about what they represent. So the King of Wands is fire, passion, impatient, intolerant, always sure he knows he's right, and really wanting to go off and do his own thing. Not wanting to settle down and, take on his responsibilities. Or there, I should say. Remember, no tarot, or no gender in tarot. And the King of Cups, although he is aware of his emotions and in touch with his emotions, he does not like to share them. Or they do not like to share them. So they can come across as cold. They have their emotions firmly under control. But they might not know how to let loose and share them, which is needed in a healthy relationship. And of course, there is a need for acting honorably, acting with integrity. They both need to learn how to nurture themselves and others better. So the goddess card that came out did not talk about self-love. It didn't talk about relaxing. It talked about running around and learning lessons, which is valuable and important and unavoidable. That's life. But there is also a need to balance that out. Well, we haven't had temperance come out though, so I'm a little surprised there's no spiritual stuff coming out yet. But communication. So you can see where the King of Wands would be perhaps more fierce in their communication, not very measured or thoughtful, where the King of Cups would be quite a bit more reluctant to talk about anything at all, or at least when it comes to emotions. The King of Wands might actually be more willing to talk about feelings, but perhaps not as in touch with their own. So the first card out is the Three of Cups in reverse. The Three of Cups in the upright can be about socializing with friends, having a good time, and find good communication. In the reverse, we have difficulties with communication, difficulties getting along with each other, and again, it's just really confirming this issue of communication between the two of you. And now we have Justice. Oh, this is interesting. Underneath Justice, we have the Queen of Wands. So, Justice. Of course, there is the need to be fair-minded, to take accountability for one's actions and inactions and the results thereof, and the need to come clean, to make amends, reparations to those you've injured. Perhaps with poor communication. One of you is holding back, and the other one is lashing out and running off. What else do we need to know? We have the Knight of Cups. So we have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. It appears that one of you is better developed in the feminine aspects than the other. It's not unusual or surprising. Now we have the Fool in reverse. So the Fool in reverse is the fear of change. The fear of taking the leap into the unknown and who you will become, which you're not supposed to know until you get there. Well, I shouldn't say supposed to. You really won't know till you get there. I'm not sure if supposed to is the right word, or the right way to put it. Sorry. Okay. So we have communication, Justice, and the Fool. Obviously, your main problem is communication, and it is probably the source of injustice between you. And it probably feels very scary for both of you to try to attempt some more meaningful or sincere is the word that's coming to mind. Communication. And you probably fear feeling like a fool or looking like a fool. What if they reject me? What if they don't like what I have to say? What if? But there's still a strong desire for success. So you're unwilling to take risks. Oh, but, you're beginning to see that you have to change some of the beliefs that you have been running your life by. Some of the beliefs that you believe, have believed, are laws, are fixed, permanent, intrinsic to the nature of the universe, because they are wrong. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I'll wait and see if they come out later on. Two of Wands. You're paralyzed by your own thoughts. I am not at all surprised. You are in the Eight of Swords refers to a mental prison, a prison of your own beliefs, your own thoughts. It isn't real, but you are beginning to realize that it's not real, so there is some hope there. And now we have the Ace of Cups. This is about opening your heart chakra, getting to know yourself better, taking better care of yourself. The first and most important thing you can do, no matter what kind of relationship you're talking about, is have a better sense of yourself, of who you really are and what you really want or need. And you have to learn how to take care of yourself first. It's, you know, everybody talks about the airplane thing. You know, when the masks drop down and they tell you, put your mask on before you try to help anybody else. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, you won't be able to help anybody else because you won't survive. And that is the same lesson here as here. You have to learn how to take care of yourself in order to be in a healthy relationship with anybody else. It doesn't matter whether it's a romantic relationship or not. It starts with you learning to be healthy and care for yourself. All right. Are there any other messages for you today? Of course, for all I know, you're bi. Not that it matters. As I said, there's no gender in tarot, and your sexual orientation doesn't matter either. Whoever your person is, you both have much to learn from each other, and you both love each other. Even if you never see each other again. Your lives are forever changed. Nope, I'm supposed to go with the Intuit. Wow, that one ran away. I won't be able to get that until later. So I guess that message is remaining hidden. You got 11, 11. See, this is 11, that one's 11, and that one's 2. I'm afraid this relationship is too good to be true, and I pull away in fear. Don't be tempted to disconnect from Source. Our connection to Source is the love and healing we require for a union. What this deck doesn't tell you, and that's, or at least I haven't seen it so far, is that you need to let go of reunion or union. You need to be whole and complete in and of yourself. So whole, so complete that you don't care anymore whether you come into union. Because you will love this person always, and you will love yourself always, and you will be happy. How much better can it get than that? All right, any last message for you? Whoever you are, seems to be a reading for both of you. Unless it's a reading for 4 people, which would be confusing. All right, one last message for you, whoever you may be, about your spiritual journey. What do you need to hear right now? Regeneration. All right, regeneration is number 46, for those of you who find meaning in that. Essential meanings: rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. I am going to read the relationship message on this one. The world is based on connections and relationship. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss. And in this moment, you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. Perhaps that's why you need to work on communication so much. All right. Congratulations on the progress that you have made and continue to make. And I hope for your continuing improvement in your ability to communicate. Have a wonderful day.